Alright guys, it's time for our morning stream. We now have, let me look at my OBS so that I can just line this up with my mouse. Yeah, so now we have our playing music going on over here. So if you guys are ever curious what song is playing, you can see it there. And then I just threw a quick thing up there so that people know where to follow me. They're just kind of popping in. And then our chat overlay for people that are chatting on Twitch, Facebook, wherever. You can all hang out together and see what everybody's saying. And see if I ignore you, I guess. But yeah, we're going to keep working on our stylized female character here. Blocking out some anatomy, some stuff like that. And as people pop in here, we'll continue to progress on that. But yeah. I'm going to try to block out the noise from the people working on my roof. They're up there right now. I wasn't sure if they were going to come today or not because it rained a little bit. But now it's kind of stopped raining and they're back to work. They're getting stuff done on the front end of the house today though. I'm in the back. So hopefully it won't be quite as loud. It doesn't sound like it thus far, but I guess we shall find out. So, if you guys weren't around last night, Kozan, what's going on, man? Glad to have you with us on the stream. So, if you guys weren't with us last night, some things that we looked at. We looked at the torso area, just as a whole, including the rib cage. So, done some work to the rib cage here recently. Did some stuff with our deltoids, with our collarbones. Looked a little bit at adjusting some things on the back, only to modify to fit with our deltoids a little bit better, as we made those changes there. So during the stream I want to kind of continue looking around this upper torso area and kind of, whoa, wrong one, and take that and carry that into our arms here. So we're looking to simplify, to bring some forms together and get a lot closer to what we're looking for our final base model here, our base mesh. Missed the last couple streams. What can I learn from this stream? I guess you'll just have to wait and find out as we get some work done here. Yeah, the first thing I want to do is start just kind of turning the form of our traps. So right through here. And we have a poly group there actually. So we might be able to do some creasing or something like that. I prefer to kind of just do this sort of thing if I'm trying to turn a surface. Just do it manually. So kind of trying to get that bump there. 1, 2. But yes, wow, a lot of people just kind of popped in here as I was not paying attention. But yeah, if you guys are, ooh, check it out, guys. Wait, let me turn on OBS just so I can see it again. For all the people that are just kind of jumping in, I got my music, guys. I got my music playing down here. So now everybody asking me what song is playing can just look down there. But yeah, I use this thing called pretzel.app or app.pretzel. I don't exactly remember. The order's not important. It's called Pretzel, and it plays copyright-free music. Because those copyright strikes on YouTube, it's no laughing matter. But yeah, guys, we're gonna keep working on our stylized female anatomy. We're looking at the back a little bit right now. I'm trying to get the traps here, the trapezius, to turn a little bit more just so I can get that bump out. as we messed with our deltoids last night during our stream. And we'll continue messing with a bunch of that stuff. But if you hear some bumping and jostling going on, that's some people working on my roof. And they're going to be doing that for a while, so I apologize for that. But luckily they're at the front of the house. If you guys missed our last morning stream, it was pretty funny. It was just so loud, and he was like right above my head making a ton of noise. But now they're somewhat far away. But I can still hear him. Hopefully you guys don't pick it up too much though. So we're looking to simplify shape, simplify form right here. Mentioned this in a couple of our last streams, but that bicep, you want that bicep to be really straight and then turn at the last second. It's a lot more accurate to how the muscle shape looks from the profile view. And of course there'll be roundness as you pull up your arm, but when it's straight like this, it's pretty much perfectly flat. Try to keep that relatively flat. The morning stream crew, you guys. Always seems like the morning stream crew jumps in a lot faster. Been joking about holding attendance for everybody that keeps showing up. Do a little bit of a roll call. We'll avoid that today. But in the future, we'll see. Kind of trying to straighten my the line of my arm there for the ulna coming down. I've wanted to mess with my elbow quite a bit. We just did some realistic arm sculpting in a live stream, and I've done a couple more studies here recently, so if that's something that interests you, watching that kind of thing, you can check that out. It's on my channel. It's all everything gets uploaded, so if you guys miss anything, you can watch it there. But yeah, if that's something that interests you, go check that out. But we're gonna use our knowledge of real anatomy and all that we've studied to kind of help us with our stylized forms as well. So what I'm going to do something similar to what I did for my knees down here. If you can see that separate mesh. I'm going to do the same thing for my elbows. We'll just use an insert sphere, I think, though. Flame Striker, what's going on? Glad to have you back. What are you up to today on this beautiful Wednesday morning? I don't know if it's morning for you. Night for you, just finishing dinner and checking out the stream. Well, cool, dude. I wanted to know how you stay motivated all the time. I don't know. I get a lot of people that ask me that question. A lot more than you would think. And really I'm bad at... I always say that I'm really bad at answering those questions. Because I don't know. I think motivation is something that's really internal for people. Whereas like inspiration is, you know, external, stuff that you pull, you're inspired by something. I think it's wrong to say that you're motivated by something else, or to say that something motivates you. Because at least I personally feel that motivation has to be internal. It's like your willingness, your desire, your get up and go, whatever you want to call it. I've always felt that is very internal. I don't know. I equate, I think a good synonym for motivation is desire. And I desire to do this and improve my work a lot. So, hence the doing of the thing. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what people expect when they ask that. I just don't. I don't know. Like I said, I'm bad at answering the question because for me it's something that I don't know. I've always been a person that does what they want, so I can't really speak to. I think everybody does what they want, right? You just got to make sure you're doing what you want, and if you're not, find out what you want to do and do that. What's up, Katie? How are things? Things are great. You know, it's our morning stream. We got people up on the roof. It's a good time. Good time. There's people. If you weren't around for our last morning stream, there's people up on my roof replacing some shingles and some what I like to call the underbelly of my roof. But yeah, they're up there getting a bunch of stuff done. They were working on the back side of my house yesterday. It was just very, very loud. It was actually really funny. I should not have been streaming. Today they're on the front, and the sound is a little bit farther away, so it's not quite as intrusive, I guess. There's a few bumps and stuff, but not nearly as bad as yesterday. It was actually hilarious at some points. There was one bang that was so loud, I literally heard. I thought he fell through my roof into my kitchen. because I heard every dish and glass in my kitchen just rattle. It was pretty funny. The Junte, please teach how to make female heads of Disney characters. I think I've done like a Princess Jasmine before. I don't know. I don't know if I've done any other Disney princesses, but yeah. We might do another one in the future. I don't know if it's about learning how to make that type of head. They are very similar though. I think it's more of just learning how to control your form enough to get that kind of stylistic appeal, that really clean simplification of forms, and that kind of thing. Right now our head's very bulbous, which we will be adjusting down the road. I kind of have this line of the face, what I call the face shelf, or the shelf of the face. Think of the face as a skull being a sphere, and then you have the face, which I like to think of a shelf that sits on top of that. I am ignoring the head for the time being, though. We're just kind of working on the body and cleaning up a lot of this stuff. Looking at the arms today, looking at we looked at the back already, just a little bit for the traps. But yeah, a bunch of stuff that we're gonna be kind of jumping around on and trying to improve and clean up. But yeah, guys, we got our music down here now. As promised, I said I would take a look to see if I could get that overlaid for everybody, and yes, it did work. It just took a few minutes to set up. Katie says, just finished mounting my Rift sensors for better tracking. My arms hurt. That's awesome. That sounds like a lot of fun now. Get your Rift sensors set up. Does it work without the sensors? That's strange. Not built for manual labor. Yes. I know the feeling. But yeah, Rifts are cool. I like me some VR. I'm a little bit more partial to the Vive, but that's only because I haven't used the Oculus since they've added the controllers and I know on the Vive they're called the lighthouses, the little sensors. I don't know what they're called for the Rift though. So trying to add in a separate little bow here for us, separate little elbow, and trying to figure out how much of that I want to stick out here from the surface and exaggerate the form. Trying to find a little bit of a better line here. Oh, I can't read your name. I can't read a single letter or character. Have you tried a lot of other stuff before finding 3D? Coding, selling, drawing, etc. and getting serious about it? Or it just happened naturally? As long as the visor controller is seen by one of the sensors, it works. As for the Vive, they just announced the Vive Pro with 2.5 times more pixels. What? Pixel density. Pair that with their new Sonic and Knuckles controller, and I think it'll be worth getting over the Rift. I would love me a Sonic and Knuckles controller. That sounds really neat. Nice red and blue. But yeah, that's cool. I didn't know that they were doing a Vive Pro. I know that pixel density is really, just resolution is really important because the screen is, you know, a few inches from your face. But going back to the other question there, have you tried a lot of other stuff before finding 3D? I mean, I've had my fair share of jobs throughout the years. When I was in college, you know, I changed my major a lot before finally just saying like, okay, undeclared, let's figure this out. Originally, I went to college with the intention of getting into CS, so computer science, because I'm a very logically thinking person, and I knew that it's in high demand. I had a lot of friends that were going into CS as well. Everybody I know currently that I hang out with is a computer science graduate, and that's what they do full time. So either web dev or software dev. So that was kind of my intention, just because of that's the kind of person that I am. But I really just, I don't know, I didn't like it. I didn't enjoy it. I didn't enjoy that kind of work, and not because of like sitting at a desk all day or anything, but it just wasn't for me. I don't know. But I'm really into like logic and puzzles and that kind of thing, so it seems like it would be right up my alley. But I ended up getting, you know, into front-end web dev for a while, graphic design and more of that, before kind of finally thinking that I wanted to be an animator for a little bit. And I had some people bang around on my roof. My music's a little loud, hard for me to think. So I wanted to be an animator for a while, and if you guys, I think me and my buddy Daryl talked about this a little bit on our little podcast that we do called Art Anonymous. It gets uploaded every Thursday. So there's a new one coming out tomorrow if you guys are interested in that kind of thing. But yeah, I don't know. I did jump around a lot. And animation wasn't really for me, but while doing that, I discovered 3D modeling. And while doing some 3D modeling, really simple stuff during school, like box modeling, just poly modeling. I think the first thing I ever 3D modeled was a whale, maybe? Something like that. I really don't remember. But yeah, just like really simple box modeled stuff. And then like a dog after that, and some other stuff. Really, I don't remember. It's been so long. But yeah, I decided that I wanted to... Oh, that's right, I remember. I discovered like websites like CG Society and, you know, Polycount and a bunch of others way before ArtStation was as popular or even existed like it does now. But yeah, that was like a driving force for me. I saw this awesome 3D work, and I said, I don't know what this is, I don't know how to do it, I don't know the first thing about it, I don't even know what I don't know about it, but this is what I want to do. I want to do this. So I did that thing, and long story short, here we are today, doing that thing still. But yeah, I'm kind of a firm believer in the idea that you kind of got to decide what you want to do, even if you don't know if it's like the right thing, because if you don't pick, somebody else will pick for you, and I would much rather kind of dig my own grave than let it, like, even if it's something that I hate, I would rather pick that thing and hate it rather than have somebody else pick a thing for me and hate it. Not to say that I hate this, but I think it's much better to, you know, you can't pick everything, so you gotta pick, you know, those select things that you want to do. Same with, you know, your hobbies and everything else. Just sent you the info for the Sonic & Knuckles Vive. Thank you very much. I'll check it out. Stream ahoy! That's right, Captain. Thank you for joining us. Get back to the helm. Raphael, just lurking. What's going on, Ralph? Raffy? Ralph? Let's go with Ralph. And Rohit. The gang's all here. What's going on, guys? We're continuing to work on our gal. Our lady. We're doing some stuff to the back and arms, and I started cleaning up the head, and I shouldn't have. That's bad. Bad folly. Want to avoid working on the head for the time being. That was a terrible mask. So yeah, a lot of focus on our arms. I was checking out some, I haven't worked on this since last night's stream, but I have looked at it, just kind of trying to figure some stuff out visually, looking at some other references, and I want to tweak my legs a little bit, even more so. I don't know if I mentioned this at the start of the stream, but I want to bring in that line there, adjust that, and adjust the way that my lower legs are connecting to my upper legs in the front. I think I've exaggerated. That looks strange when you just view it solo mode, but I think I exaggerated this curve a little too much for where I'm going with this. So we'll also look at that. Just trying to get the surface to turn a little bit here, and honestly, move that in. Just to get a little bit of an angle there. And on the inside, I think we've kind of pushed in a little too much, so try to get that back. Bang, bang, bang. They're coming over here. Oh no. The roofers. You know what? These aren't my only roofers that mess with me, because actually all my neighbors' dogs are technically roofers. They're always roofing. Messing up my streams. It's just a neighborhood full of roofers. Even when the dogs aren't around. Got roofers on the actual roof. Kind of turning my light a little bit just so I can see from a different angle there. It's really useful to use that light to your advantage, just so that you can read your surface a little bit better. I like to use my pinch brush a lot to force my surface to turn. And attempt to just simplify this and round it out. But I need that. It's hard to explain this to someone that doesn't sculpt or someone that's new, but seeing the highlight here I think is helpful. But I'm just trying to get the roundness of that edge to kind of peak right around that area. And we'll knock that down just a little bit. But yeah, just kind of keeping it dirty so that I can kind of mess with the form. And then while it's in that state, I have my subdivs, so I can kind of start knocking that transition down. And get a really clean form up through there. And try to get a nice clean transition. If this line is looking a little too tight, we can start to trim it just a little bit. Starting to get the arm to round more. The basic primitive that we're looking at is just like a rounded long cube, essentially. Try to round that a little bit better. And I tried to exaggerate that form change in the forearms. But I'm thinking I want to merge our forearms and our biceps together here. I always say bicep, but our forearm and upper arm. But I want to make sure that I have a really strong kind of transition here. This is our spooky song. I like this one. Give that one a thumbs up. So right now I just kind of want to exaggerate that bump. So I'm just using my transpose tool to kind of clip some form, which can be very useful. Q. How do you get around the... Looks the same as my last character issue. Yeah, that's a toughie. Especially if you... I guess... So I would say, just personally from what I attempt to do, if you do a lot of stuff that's kind of in the same vein, I think that's slightly unavoidable. Like if you're always attempting to do things in the same style, or if you have your own style, I think that's slightly more unavoidable. But the way that I try to get over that, as much as possible for me, is kind of how I look at ZBrush as a whole, as a tool set. And I think formulas are bad. I think ways in general of doing things are kind of bad. I think they can be very helpful. So like, if you have a way that you always sculpt heads, well then yeah, they're gonna typically look very, very similar. And you might call that way your style or anything, but I'm specifically talking about in ZBrush for a formula for doing a thing. So let's say you always start with a sphere, and then you mask and pull down the shape of the head, and you push in the eye socket and pull down for the shape of the cheeks, and you do all these things, and you do it the same way every time. I think those formulas start to really hurt you in those areas. They become very downvote. They kind of lead you into doing a lot of the same things the same way. So what I recommend, and this is what I try to preach this as much as I can, I recommend that I think ways and formulas can be very helpful, but I recommend that you, while you're trying to sculpt a head, maybe try to do it in a different way than you normally would. Try to avoid that formula that you always use. Maybe try to do things, if you always do something like this where you're using a lot of different subtools like I do, maybe just try to dynamesh everything together and work that way for a little while, and try to avoid that and get a little bit of a different kind of way of doing things. I like to look at ZBrush as a set of tools, and I really dislike seeing people ask questions like, well, how do you sculpt this? How do you paint eyes? How do you do this? And I'm like, I don't know, because I do it different every single time, just a little bit. I might have like a formula for sculpting a head, but really I try to experiment and do it in as many different ways as possible, just using the tools that I know in ZBrush, which I know ZBrush very, very well, and some people might not, which is where those ways and formulas can really come in handy. But I do think that is a good way of attempting to get something that doesn't always look the same. Try to switch up your formula a little bit. So if you do have something like that, try to maybe switch it up next time. And if you don't, I don't know, try to get some critique, and I would say try to get some other people looking at your work and help you push it in a different direction from what you normally do. Because I know you can really get blind to your own work after you look at it for a long time, and I know how tough that can be. Yes, Katie, it is something I noticed a lot of people do in the ZBrush Discord as well. Really, if you really wanna, so first I would say I think that's due a lot to inexperience, or hobbyists, and people that really aren't people that really aren't super serious about it, and I think that's okay. That's not the brush I wanted. I was very confused there. Again, talking and sculpting, I'm very bad at it. Yeah, I think a lot of people are just inexperienced, and that's something you see a lot around those early stages, and that's okay. That's all part of learning and growing and improving, right? You're not gonna be Usain Bolt right out of the gate. But yeah, I don't know. I think the last thing I would just say on it is try to do something so completely different from what you normally do that it just completely breaks the mold. Try to do a hyper-realistic face. Try to do a Disney-styled character face. Try to do a Disney princess or a hero or whatever. Or try to do a cartoon character. Whatever is farthest away from what you normally do, try to do that. And I really do think there's a lot that you can learn from attempting new things and challenging your way of typically working. But yeah, that's what I got. That's all I got. So forearms, guys. I'm trying to, we can step back here, kind of look at this. So trying to make that a little bit more exaggerated there. stepping through my undos. It's really rounded. Let's look at some forearms. Forearms are something that I really dislike sculpting because they're just so freaking hard. Simplifying them isn't necessarily hard, but when you're sculpting a realistic forearm, it is pretty hard. Because there's a lot of different stuff going on in there. And then you have the radius and ulna that rotate around each other and the muscles that twist with that. It's tough stuff. I want this to have that kind of hard notch there. I want it to be a little bit more interesting. I don't want it to be quite so rounded. I think I just want to carry the shape of my main extensor, I think. Yeah, my main extensor muscle up a lot higher, and I think that's really going to help that form transition a little bit better there. Let's try that. Just a large mask and pulling up. Now this extensor muscle, normally, it does actually start pretty close to that angle that I have there, and then it would wrap around and come down and connect to your radius, I believe. I don't know if it actually connects to the radius, but it does connect down around the radius. So really just kind of trying to move that up. I'm afraid that somebody's gonna fall up there. So really trying to shift that forearm transition up quite a lot there. It's kind of helping out. Our hands still need quite a bit of love. I think our forearms could be thickened up a little bit here. And possibly mess with just the arc of our forearms as a whole. And when I blend these together, merge and Dynamesh and blend everything, I really don't know how strong I'll keep these transitions. Probably not too crazy. CD Projekt Red emailed me asking to see my portfolio the other day. I think they got my application to work on Cyberpunk 2077. Awesome! That's really neat. Asking for your portfolio. Normally don't you send the portfolio with the application? I guess maybe not always. But that's really neat. Hopefully it works out for you, if that's something that you desire. That'd be pretty fun. So I exaggerated the flatness here to turn the surface and get a nice separation there. Now I want to kind of start blending that a little bit better, filling it in. Making sure that I still have a good pinch going on there. Really uneven surface over here. Lonely in English, studying IT math in university myself and struggling with it. At school it's fun and practical, but now it feels more like I'm learning stuff just to forget it the next day, and it's all theoretical. Well, that's no fun. I tweeted them about it. They said, email us your resume and CV, which has your portfolio link on it. So they asked for the, your old portfolio link. So they asked for the new link. Awesome. Job applications on Twitter. That's the way to do it. Leak me something if you get the job. Yeah. Been waiting since 2012 or something. Read about it back when I was still buying paper magazines. In 2012? Oh man. Can't remember the last time I bought a paper magazine. Maybe never. I have, but not like... not your standard grocery store checkout magazine. But yes, you're going to have to wait, what would that be? 65 more years, I guess? Till 2077. They gave themselves a huge window to be able to release that game. Been waiting since 2012, so you got a few more years to wait. Robert, what's going on? Hiya. He's back from the dead. Roberto, as we call him on stream just now for the first time, but it'll stick. I totally won't forget. Trying to see how far I can push this form before it really breaks. Thinking about sculpting some I thought that said underwear animal for a second. Underwater animal or something like that. That would be fun. Some sea critters. Let's see a seahorse. I want to sculpt a seahorse now. There's so many cool underwater sea creatures to create. Which one will you do? My vote's seahorse. I think we've done a pretty good job of pushing that just far enough. Let's kind of clean it up now. One of the more difficult things in sculpting, I think, to achieve in terms of form is getting something sharp, like a really hard edge, transition into a soft area. And of course you can do what I'm doing and feather it, and that's what you would initially do. But I've kind of found some other tricks for that as well. You see that you start to get this, if I turn on maybe a little different material there, you can see that it starts to kind of bulge up the surface around that area. And that's only natural. It's kind of inevitable that you will get that kind of, form there. But if you duplicate your mesh and blend the sharp transition into a flat mesh there, like a mesh duplicated like this and then just made clean, you'll get a lot cleaner form from that. A little strong, I think, on that front side. So let's soften both of these. After Witcher 3, they can actually make it until 2077, and everyone will be happy. But it'll be Duke Nukem Forever by then. Yeah. probably. Don't need more Duke Nukem Forever, like ever. Robert says that's what I was going for. What? That's crazy. Roberto, we're on the same wavelength. The seahorse wavelength, I guess. If that is a wavelength. Which I guess it is now. Ugh. I'm merging these together so that I can modify them as one. They still have their subdivs, so we cool, we cool. But yeah, Roberto, I would love to see some sea. Love to see your seahorse. Once you get her done, as they say. If female wear boobs. We haven't done those yet because I've been tweaking the torso. But we got some spheres. Yeah, some nice old spheres up there. Wow, beautiful. Yeah, we'll get to that eventually. Not all the ladies got the big boobles, as they say. So yeah, another thing I was mentioning was transitioning our knee here a little bit better. I asked the same thing back in middle school, answer is the same in the future. Oh man. Yes, Roberto, I love my seahorses natural as well. So sculpt me a very natural seahorse. I would love to see that extremely natural seahorse. So, I want to shorten my ankle, first off. Maybe more than that, but I'll wait. So yeah, I think I think this looks good. I am happy with the forms that I've created here. I just think, oh no. I think I would prefer it to be a more subtle transition. Oh, what the heck? Come on. Okay, so from the front, stretch from the front. All right, let's play here. Roberto, I have no idea what you were talking about. You clearly meant seahorses. There's so many different types of seahorses. Well, yes, of course, you have saltwater seahorses, freshwater seahorses, red seahorses, of course, another popular kind of seahorse. Blue seahorses, really, there's just quite a variety. You're absolutely correct. Our other spooky song, yay. For those wondering, Zircon from their Dungeon Man's album. It's really cool. I like this dude's music a lot. Ah, that's right, it's actually down there. It doesn't show the album though, I don't think. So kind of trying to transition that a little less prominently. They look so different, so majestic. True majesty can be found in only the seahorse. Robert has discovered a truth today about the world. Some look a bit like dragons, yeah. They absolutely, well, I guess you should say dragons look a little bit like seahorses, but you're gonna have to sculpt dragons this month. Awesome. I love yawning. I love fantasy stuff. It's like my favorite thing to make, and just kind of enjoy. But yeah, fantasy, dragons, wizards and the such, you know. The cool kid stuff. None of that nerdy sci-fi crap. Nobody likes that anyway. Let's try merging our knee onto our modified legs here. Only one of them, of course, though. So we don't merge them at the butt. Yes, I like organic stuff a lot as well, Robert. Do you have any favorite 3D artists working in stylized manner? Yes, of course. I have my industrial design demigod, Karanak. I think you have one of his works as wallpaper in Chrome. I don't know what you mean by that. I'm trying to understand, but I don't. But, called Karnak, but cartoon lovers are a rare species, as I see it. Yeah, I follow like a bajillion people, so what I recommend is just go over to my ArtStation page and click on the people that I follow and check out some of their work. I literally follow like 400 people on there, so yeah, I pull inspiration from a lot of different places. Not just other artists, but just from things that I enjoy as well. Ah, crap, stop. Didn't blend that at all. ZRemesher can be really weird with that kind of geometry, and we want to avoid that as best as we can. So you even got some stair stepping in there from that, but Should go away after I project and modify it. Just found out the snake hook brush is amazing for some stuff. Yeah, I got it down here on my quick bar. Snake hook brush is actually really good for making just a stronger move change with a really big brush. So you can just like make it really big and maybe turn down its the intensity if you want. And it'll just allow you to kind of move stuff. Bump that up a little bit. But yeah, you can make some like really big form changes really quick with it as well. But the standard use is like, oh, I'm gonna pull out some junk, right? I'm not a fan of using it in that manner too often though. So there's rare instances where I need that kind of form. And honestly, it's kind of messy. But I obviously use it because I got it down on my quick bar. I've actually been thinking that I need to redistribute my brush settings for my quick bar and renumber some things because I don't use some as many as others. Like my insert multi-mesh and Z-modeler brush. I should put those on some hotkeys, I've been thinking. Not that it's hard to, you know, move my pen 6 inches and click on it, but I really don't like the form transition happening between the leg and the knee, so I might really smooth that out and reapply that knee on top there again. Ugh. Kind of a subtle change in terms of the major forms there, but I think getting rid of that really hard shadow is actually helping quite a bit. I think it's just a little bit too strong of a tweak out. I like it, but I think making that a little bit more clean is a better idea. 30 minutes ago, you opened ArtStation for a second. I just noticed this ArtStation though. It's some kind of wallpaper extension for Chrome. Yeah, there's a wallpaper extension that if you open up a new tab, it'll just play a random curated ArtStation image. There was a stuff, but now I'm not sure if it was. Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff on here, so you can kind of flip through. Or you can let it go automatically, and then you can click and find the artist there. Luckily, they've added a feature to go back now. That's really new, actually. This didn't used to exist, and it was really crappy where you're like, oh, I need to find this artist, and you go to click and it just transitions at the last second. You're like, damn it. Featured on main page, or you have subscribed to him? Nah, not subscribed. That's just, and that's not front page featured either. Like I said, it's just curated. I have some stuff that pops up on there occasionally. So you can see these shadows going on here. I'm gonna try to get rid of those as best as I can. How many people get on community or trending on ArtStation? I have no idea. I don't work for ArtStation. But I typically it's just like an endless scrolling wall on the front page wall, which is just considered trending, I think. Trending, yeah. It literally just scrolls forever. Just kind of keep scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. And then there's top row, and then there's the community. Community is just like a select few though. I think this is kind of like the home page of ArtStation, but the which is why it's just, you know, artstation.com there. But the trending page is where I pretty much always check. I never go to the community page just because there's a lot of old stuff on there and it sits up there for a really long time. I don't think this is like automatically done. I think they manually mess with that, so that's why I stick with trending. And trending freaking rotates, you know, twice a day, so. Choose the time you post wisely. Ah. Undo. rolling back. I don't want that merged very badly. What time do you think is the best to post artwork to get the most views? I don't know. I guess it depends on your time zone and when people are active and all that. I really don't think the truth is that content, you know, everybody says content is king, and that's absolutely true. I don't think you can post at a time when nobody is active, and if you post some awesome artwork, I think you're still gonna get up there. I don't know, maybe watch for some trends if you're looking for to find a specific time to post. But in all honesty, everybody is kind of desensitized to amazing art. And it's really sad, in my opinion. It's like there's just an overwhelming amount of amazing art being posted every day. And you really can't try to compete against everyone. You're not going to. You're going to fail. You're gonna fail every time. And you just, I don't know, man. You can't, I think you can try to somewhat figure out, like, oh, okay, people seem to be more active around this time, better chance of my work getting seen, so I'll post now. And I think that's cool. I think that's a good strategy. But really, like, ArtStation is great. I love ArtStation. But that style of website has, like, completely destroyed people's expectations of art, just because there's so much awesome stuff every day, like I said. So it is really hard to compete. And I think that desensitizing to amazing art, I don't know what the solution is to that, but I think it's actually definitely a problem. I think even for artists, how many of you go on ArtStation or a similar website, and how long do you actually spend looking at those top artworks? Like, be honest. Probably not that long. Click on one, look at it for, 6 seconds, go to the next one, look at it for 6 seconds. That's just how it is now, though. Much more important what you make. Yeah, I tweeted recently, spend a month on a character, love it, work really hard on it, yada yada yada, blah blah blah, spend all this time, 8 likes, and then, spend 30 minutes sculpting a pair of boobs. 1 billion likes, And it's absolutely true. But I mean, I don't think that's any reason. If your intention is to get your work as many likes as possible on social media, then yeah, do that. But I think maybe that's the wrong goal to have. People are gonna like your work if you like and love your work and you put the time into it and get it to a level where it's good enough. Honestly, anymore, I think the work that people, you know, that's considered like top row work, the stuff that people really love anymore. I mean, just because there is so much art out there, it's the stuff that like you see, and as an artist, it somewhat hurts you because you know how much work that person put into it. You're like, oh, wow, that is like, damn, they spent a lot of time on that. And you can tell. You can always tell. But I think that's really the work that people, you know, want to exemplify and put on the top row. I spent about 2 or 3 hours on a face with nice eyes and no nose. Yeah, I think you told me about that. It was a hit for you. Awesome, man. Then I work on something for 9 hours. There's barely any views and likes. Yeah, content. You know, content is king. But, you know, if you hit like a stylistic appeal that people really enjoy, that'll get people to like your work. Absolutely. I don't like the shadows that I'm getting around here. Colors are your thing. Awesome. I like me some colors. Click Ben. Let's see here. Come on. Alright, I think I like that more for now, but who knows, we might come back and destroy it later. Let's go back on up to our arms. Kind of want to take this line, flatten out this area a little bit. I think that might be a little bit too strong though. Music reminds me of Shadow the Colossus. YouTube doesn't like links in the comments. Artwork and then this colon. If you post a link in the chat, I can approve it, but just let me know so I can open up the the stream window, because I don't have it open right now. Trying to get the angle of the elbow coming down the arm here to change a little bit. I just can't add links in YouTube comment section. If you paste a link into the live chat, I should be able to approve it. It should get flagged, and then I should be able to approve it. If it's not working, my roof boys are back. I don't know what's going on, but normally it does. Normally it allows you to. It just won't show up, and then it'll get sent to me, and I'll just click approve. Trying to get that form to flow a bit better. After we've kind of stuck that on there. See if I can clip it a little bit. Maybe not quite a clip, maybe just a trim, H-polish or something. We'll see. As it's a little bit of a strong curve right now. Going back to sleep. Woke up at 2 a.m. to eat some night cereals. Awesome. And then like, oh, Follygon makes cartoon girls. I'll check it for 5 minutes. Now it's 3:30. Story of my life. Good luck with the rest. Yeah, absolutely. Yes, go get your sleep. You wouldn't believe how many people do the exact same thing as you. But yeah, thanks for stopping in, and join us on the next night stream, or my night stream. This is the morning stream, so might align better with your time zone if you come around then. That's funny, though. Go get some sleep. Wow, my camera's freaking out there. Something. $7:30 p.m. Yeah, there you go. You're 7 hours ahead of me. So our night streams here would be morning streams for Roberto. Get a real clean curve up through there, or at least try. Alright. I'm gonna bounce here in a little bit, but try to clean up a little bit more. I'm definitely liking where our arms are going. So, with that said, let's do some merge-roonies before I get out of here. Seeing how my candle was doing there. My candle's burning really unevenly. I don't know how to make it not do that. I'm looking at the live chat, and there is no flagged spam. So I don't know. Maybe they changed the way it works. It used to flag it and be all in red and stuff. Who knows? But yeah, post it in the ZBrush Discord, and I will for sure see it. Dynamesh these together to a singular mesh, and we can clean them up. Let's do a 1K remesh and projection and see how that goes. Done! Share your work section. Awesome. Let's project these real quick here. Share your work. Ah, the no nose, no mouth, eyes. But we does look like we got some ears in there. Awesome, man. It's fun. A little creepy. Texturing's a little hard cut, I think. But, yeah, man. Nifty. Nifty stuff. Delete our projection mesh here. Oh. Might be a little strong on the outside. Maybe we can soften that blend up into there. Same with the deltoids. This divot here, I want to soften that and transition, get that to flow better. I want to avoid a lot of hard transitional points. Kind of like what we got with our legs. I think the transition up into the deltoid is pretty good. We might want to just tweak that out a little bit just to have that flow up in there so that when we merge our deltoid it doesn't completely overlap it. And we can do this to make sure that that's kind of tucking up there a little bit better. It all flows up under. From the front view, I've been wanting to inflate this area. So let's look at that here. Got a lot of extra meshes that I'm gonna delete here in a little bit once I begin merging some more stuff together. I'll save an extra file so we still have them if we need them. I doubt we will though. What do you mean by hard cut? Let's see here. The transition between the different colored sections of your texture are, it's a very kind of quick fall off between your reds and whites. In terms of texture work, it transitions very quickly and it looks very unnatural. So that is what I mean by hard cut. So inflating the bottom of our deltoid. I'm gonna try just using my clay brush, build up some form here a little bit more. Really just kind of overdo it maybe a little bit, then knock it back a little underneath. So we can get that undercut there. And already build up that form. I wouldn't say disturbing AF, no, but definitely more creepy than not. It kind of looks unintentionally creepy. Oh mama. Please don't fall off my roof. 'Cause then I would have to become a roofer via the Santa Claus or the roofer clause, and then that would just be a whole mess. I don't want to be a roofer. I'm not built for roofing. Not right now. So as I'm inflating up my deltoid here, I'm noticing that I kind of need to work on getting that transition between my ribcage area and all that to blend a little bit better once I combine those there. I want to look specifically at this area here though. But I think we'll probably end up doing that more in our night stream tonight. If I get some time to look at that before then, I'll probably do that and see what we can do. This is the second time this song is played, and I've already downvoted it once. Alright. Just a quick few more things, and then I'm out of here. Oh, got our extra forearms there. Working with something that is not human is pretty fun. Yeah, absolutely. Humans are more rigid to work with. Yeah, sometimes. Once you're doing some stylized stuff, you can kind of go a lot of different directions. I think those are our first legs, so we will also move those up. But yeah, I think that's going to be a good place for us to jump ship, abandon everything. Nah, we'll be coming back, playing more with this as we do. And I hope to see you guys in the night stream tonight. For those that are just kind of popping in here, sorry, I'm just jumping out, jumping off, leaving. Capoche? I don't know what I'm trying to say. But yeah, night stream tonight. Follow me on the things so you know when I'm streaming and all that, or just click subscribe on the YouTubes and it should let you know. But we'll probably do some more stylized stuff unless there's a huge outcry for us to maybe do something realistic. I've been thinking about doing maybe a realistic female face since we just did two realistic male faces here recently. So I thought that might be fun, or something like that. I don't know, we'll see. But until next time, let me save this out just so I don't forget, 'cause that would be terrible. Alright guys, I will see you in the night stream tonight, or in the morning stream tomorrow, hopefully. Alright, later guys, have a great rest of your day, and get some ZBrushing done, get some cool work done. Alright, see you guys next time.